we gather again. It is good to be here with you, dear ones. Settle yourselves as we help the medium get out of the way. Her mind has been busy preparing. And she was wondering why we gave her some information on the crystal bed. She thought, well, that would be interesting to share with the group if they're ready for some sort of eye-opening consciousness shift. And perhaps we shall. For you have already learned that you are multidimensional beings. In case you did not know, we are reminding you of this fact. Yes, you are in these bodies, but you are not this physical form. As you know, you have a spirit having a physical experience that is temporary. Question is there time? The linear time here helps you deal with making appointments, catching a plane, going to work, those sort of things. But when you sit here in these vibrations of Source or in your meditations, don't you feel as though you're in a time warp of sorts? You lose all track of time. And so you go into a higher vibrational space of consciousness where you begin to connect to the oneness. You begin to reconnect and perhaps energetically sense, and perhaps you have been sensing when you expand with the exercises that we do here. As you fill with light now, see yourselves filling with light, golden light from your Creator, bathing over you, coming in through the top of your head. Allow it to gently bathe over you as though you are a shell, and it fills every little crevice all the way down to your toes and fingertips. And when that golden light has completely filled your physical shell of sorts, allow it to expand. Feel your energies expand out into the other layers of your field. And become aware of how it feels to have the expanded perception in this state. You can continue to expand beyond this room as we have done before, and allow yourselves to be limitless and be out in space. Be connected to the cosmos and connect to the vibration that flows through the undercurrent of the universe. And sit with that for a bit. Simply by intention to connect and to be one with it, you are. For intention is a focused thought creation. What many do not understand is that every thought you have is a creation. For thoughts are energy, thoughts are things, and everything is energy, and so a thought creates. It creates a vibration. And when enough focus is given to that vibration, it begins to, we shall say, magnetize other particles from the universe of sorts, vibrations from the universe of sorts, until eventually something will materialize that matches that vibration from the thought that you have sent out, transmitted with your focused intention. And so when you think of it that way, you literally have created your own reality by your thoughts, because you have brought into your experience whatever it is to match the vibration, the frequency that you are transmitting. And to remind you that frequency, you will be able to tell its match by how you feel. So if you are focused on, and we see so many, they focus on what is wrong. Oh, this happened to me and that happened to me. So they start complaining about what has gone wrong in their day. And then what happens when they're perhaps driving home from work? Something else happens because they have been focused on what has gone wrong and complaining and focusing more energy on that. And so you have amplified the field to give you more experiences that make you feel the same way, an energetic match. And you wonder why you have an experience. Dear ones, you have created everything in your life. And when you understand this, the light bulb, as you say, can go off in your consciousness that, oh my, I am a creator. What exactly do I want to create? I have this amazing gift and perhaps been using it unconsciously, willy-nilly, as you say. For many on your world are unconsciously creating, usually not what they want. They think they are talking and feeling and thinking about what they want, but they're actually focusing on the opposite of that and complaining about not having it. And so what do they get? Not having it. More of not. More of I don't. More of, oh, I still don't have that. I wish I had that. And so your words, dear ones, pay attention to your words. Your words are thoughts from your voice. They have vibration as well. Everything is energy, your thought, your voice, your feelings, and they all combine to create an amplified vibration. And so when all of those are aligned, the thoughts, the feelings, and the words, focus on what you wish to manifest and create in your life, and focus on perhaps just the feeling of excitement when you think about perhaps it's a new house or a new car or a new job, whatever it is, because everyone is different. It could be I just want this bike, or I just want this coat for material things, or it could just I want to feel peaceful. Well, in order to feel at peace, you must focus on feeling peaceful. And many people don't understand this concept. They want peace in the world, and they focus on arguing and war and destruction. The opposite vibrations of peace. And so what you want in the world, you must vibrate in your life and in your world. And the more who awaken their consciousness that they are these creators, then the tipping point eventually is reached and a consciousness shift will be accomplished. Where, back to the beginning that we were speaking of and preparing to get you to this point, time is an illusion. But time, you have been taught, is linear. And in these physical forms, you need the illusion of time in order to get through your day. Because with the willy-nilly thoughts that all of you have on this world, because you have not learned to focus and stay aligned, if you manifested every thought that you had, you would go crazy. Because you would say, oh, no, I didn't want that. Oh, but I want this, I want that. Oh, no, sorry. You do not know how yet to focus, and you are learning. Imagine your neighbors, your friends that are not awake, if every thought they had materialized in front of them within instantaneous thought process. This medium's laughing. Some of you have dragons. Imagine if you said, I want to see my dragon. Poof! Here you are. They're in the room. Are you ready for that? No! Perhaps others are not ready to see them. Maybe you say in your privacy for them to show themselves or something like that. But you might not want to do that in public because you might scare people because they're not ready to see a dragon. They don't know. that they exist in other dimensions, and there are many other interdimensional beings, as you all know, but you are all multidimensional beings. You exist as a consciousness, as a energy form, light being, across space and time. So now we get back to where we started, the concept of time. We showed this medium the image of, and she was trying to think of something that would, a way to, for those that come in a few days to the talk, she's probably going to have a little visual for this, but for now we will just, you can create the visual in your minds. Think of something easily to fold, and she thought of a straw. Fairly easy to fold. Yes, it is just plastic. And it is linear, and it is fixed. It has a point in the front, a point in the back, and a point in the middle. And so if the straw were a representation of time, where the middle was the present, and either end was the past and the future in all directions. Of course, it is not fixed, but you get the idea, yes? What would happen if you folded that straw in half? The past and the future become one. They touch. And you keep folding and folding and folding until all the timelines collapse into a point of now. Because all you have is now. And even at the quantum level, all of those other points of so-called time continue to collapse and exist in other dimensions because they're all happening at the same time, because they all collapsed into the one point in the center. Do you understand? Have we lost you? Have we blown your mind, as you said? This is what we gave her to talk about on Saturday. Oh, I don't know, those are the Friday. A little bit. To give people an idea that there is no time with what else is coming with that talk. Do you understand this? Yes? Could be a new concept for some of you. And so when you understand that there is no time, and that there are dimensions where right now, which is already gone, all you have is the moment of now, which as soon as you say now, it's already in the past. And so if you live in the so-called now, that now moment is a now moment across many other dimensional possible timelines that you are also having an experience in another physical form. And so, if you can imagine that you exist on many dimensions, instead of, as you call them, past lives and future lives, that they're all happening simultaneously like this straw, and they all collapse on each other as you continue to fold it into you, this point of vibration, then everything that you have learned from other lifetimes, we shall say that to keep it so-called linear so your minds can understand, and everything that you already in the future, in other lifetimes, have achieved. Perhaps you've already achieved something in another lifetime that you're working toward in this one. Or you learned a skill or something like that. But all of those experiences are accessible because you are all one. And so if your consciousness can expand and be open to connecting to those other, we shall say, aspects of vibrational reality of you in the other dimensions, you have access to knowledge and wisdom and experiences. And for, this is part of what she will mention in the talk for some people. because of what she will be talking about has to do with time. If people, and we will not say you because we do not wish to give you an idea that any of you have this, but say someone has an illness in this timeline, yet in another timeline they are completely whole and healthy. If their consciousness can expand and know that the other, we shall say, aspect of them in the other dimension is them now. They are no different. They are not separate. And they are able to bring the knowingness of wholeness from the other timeline, we shall say. Then they have, as you say, a miraculous healing or remission or some sort of thing that is your medical science cannot explain. It is because it is a consciousness shift. So everything boils down to your consciousness. And so your awareness and your conscious expansion is what is going on in this world right now. You're going into higher vibrations of love. Every human on this world, not just human, but every living thing, including your beautiful mother Gaia, is going into higher vibrations and it is affecting everyone's consciousness. And so the mass consciousness of humanity is shifting. Imagine the potential if every human being understood what we just explained to you now and accepted it as knowledge, a knowingness, that they're all connected, that they're all entangled, having multiple lifetimes at the same time, almost blows your mind, doesn't it? But the mass consciousness of humanity is raising in the awareness of all sorts of higher vibrational concepts and evolutionary, we shall say, knowledge. And so as each one individual awakens to more expansion, it affects the collective. Just as the medium just reminded us of and she did not think of this before, so she may say this on Friday as well. Have you heard of the 100 monkey syndrome? Mm-hmm. Shall we explain briefly for those that may not quite remember? Yes?
Yes.
So, there are some islands that have monkeys on them, and they're too far apart, they cannot swim to each other. And so, it's the same type of monkey, we believe. Scientists were on each of the islands. On one of the islands, a scientist takes a sweet potato, bathes it in the water, washes it off, and begins to eat it in front of the monkeys. They do this for several days, weeks, does not matter. Eventually, one of the monkeys repeats what the person has done. This is not something that occurred on all of the islands, just one. At some point, that one monkey on the one island, monkey see, monkey do. Literally. The other monkeys began to do what it was doing. Grab sweet potatoes, wash them off, and eat them. And at some point, the consciousness of these monkeys, because it was a collective energy, even though they could not touch or connect physically, all of the other monkeys on the other islands began doing the same thing with sweet potatoes. It was a collective consciousness shift. And it did not require all of the monkeys to do it. only a subset. Basically, one of the islands was, I guess, enough of a tipping point, as you would call it. And so something similar is going to happen with humanity. But there has to be enough awakening of the individuals. And it doesn't have to be because you're all on the same planet. You're all concentrated on the same, we shall say, life force here of your beautiful Gaia. And so at some point, when enough awaken, there will be a tipping point. And it is like, perhaps flicking a switch on all the others, and they will awaken. But for those that were already awakened, you will have more experience. You will be able to help the others that may seem confused when they awaken into these higher levels of consciousness. So that is why we ask you, and we were here, to apply these concepts, to work on your vibration, to work on the thoughts, to clear the doubts and the fears and all of the old programming that you have within your being. Because those old programs are the only thing holding you back from your evolution. They were put in place to keep you limited, to make you believe that you were limited. And you are multidimensional beings. Does that sound limited? No. You are only limited by what you think about yourselves. And so as you continue to raise your thought processes, your consciousness, your energetic vibrational awareness of yourself and the world around you, the more you will be at peace. The more your life will flow with ease. The happier you will be. All that you need will just be drawn to you because you have a knowingness that you will have you have all that is provided for you because you have a knowingness that it already is done. Doesn't that sound better than where you're at now? Indeed. And so do the work. Keep doing, take one day at a time and tune in. And occasionally when you can do some deeper work, use the exercises that the others have taught through many sessions. And give yourself chances, time, this linear time, use it to your advantage in these bodies to integrate the vibrations that you are in not only now, this night, but also on your planet. For there are many energy shifts as this beautiful planet of yours goes into the area of the galaxy that she is traveling in. And so the love and the light vibrations are only going to get stronger. And where there is more light, think of the brighter, a dimmer switch. Yes, a dimmer switch is a good example. When you have a dark room, even when you have a dark room, it doesn't mean that the light is not there. It's just not turned on, yes? Yes. So a dimmer switch, what happens? You push the button and a little bit of light comes in. And then you turn the knob up a little bit so the light gets stronger and stronger. And all the darkness is dispelled. It was as soon as you turned on the switch, and it wasn't there truly to begin with, but it was an illusion. Because even in the vastness of space, there is light. Light particles. Just like your spectrum of color that you cannot see with your naked eye, as you call it, the infrared. It is light. It is a different frequency of light. So there's always light. But the dimmer switch, as you turn it, and it gets brighter and brighter, if it's blasting full force, does the darkness have any chance? No. And so the brighter you become as beings of light within your vibration, the more light you are able to hold. Not only you, but the others on your world who are awakening and doing the same type of work. You become these beautiful beacons, like we have said before, like a lighthouse, shining your light brightly. And the darkness has no chance. Because you are so bright, the darkness can never get near you because your light is your light. The way the darkness can approach is by you lowering your vibration, and that is like turning down the dimmer switch and then eventually turning the light off. When you get into the lower vibrations of fear and doubt and sadness, those sort of things, that is when every version of fear, by the way, is the lower vibration. There are many versions of fear. It's either love or fear and all variations of it. But that is when you allow the darkness into your space. So until you clear the fear thoughts, the limiting thought pattern beliefs of lack and limitation, it is only you who are allowing darkness to be around you because of your thought choices. Conscious or unconscious, it does not matter. It is your brain, it is your vibration. That is why we say become aware of how you are feeling and what vibrations you are transmitting, because monitoring every single thought that you have is not realistic. But you know when you're feeling good, okay, content, calm, not bad, versus, oh my God, get me out of here. I can't do this anymore. I'm fed up, whatever, scared, crying, miserable, petrified. Those are very different vibrations, all of those. And the worse you feel, the lower your vibration. And you have already turned the dimmer switch off and left it off and closed the door with a room with no windows. And so when you've had enough of that, only you can turn the switch on by your choice. Open the door, open the windows, and let the light in by your choice. And so you are completely responsible by choice to choose lighter vibrations or darker vibrations. And you know this because you're becoming more aware. But the more you practice consciously of choosing love and light over lower vibrations, the more it is like, as you say, practice makes perfect. As you practice, it becomes a habit. The more you practice, it's like when you learned how to tie your shoelaces when you were a little kid. You had to keep practicing over and over and over until it became automatic. Just like driving a car. You don't think about all the different aspects of what you need to do to drive a car. You just get in and go, and half the time you don't even remember how you got home because you're on autopilot. That is in the knowledge bank. That is your knowingness of how to drive a car and how to tie your shoelaces. Eventually, after you have practiced with conscious awareness, choosing the higher vibrational states and thoughts and feelings. And when you don't feel good, tune in and say, okay, where's this coming from? And then do something about it. If you don't like the way you feel, do something about it. Don't accept it and say, well, I have to stay in this state. No, you don't. It is allowing you to have contrast to raise your awareness so that you can pay attention and choose something else. Choose a different thought. Choose a different direction. Just like when you get lost with your GPS, and we've used this analogy many times. Even if you get lost, you don't turn left and the GPS wanted you to turn left and you accidentally turned right. You don't get all upset. Well, some people do. We don't know why. It's kind of stupid. Because all you do is keep turning right until you get back to where you came from. You make a circle. And you get back on the same route that you came from, and then you go left. Or you make a U-turn and go, either way, you get redirected. What is there to be upset about? It's a waste of energy. You just temporarily got off course, and you go, okay, let's redirect. And so, the fact that you got off course, you don't have to get all upset about it. Just acknowledge it and reroute yourself. Reroute your thoughts. Reroute by your choice. Now, obviously, if you don't reroute and go back the way you're supposed to go, you will keep getting more lost. And then, of course, yes, you're going to start screaming. But if that's only when you don't have one of these GPSs, because it will keep telling you, do a U-turn, do a U-turn, do a U-turn, turn around, turn around, turn around. Right? It'll keep trying to reroute you back. And so your inner guidance is the same way. Your emotional guidance will keep warning you when you're out of alignment. Because you won't feel good. And the longer you stay there, the worse you feel. And so the sooner you catch it and switch it and do a U-turn in your emotional state, the quicker you will get out of any of those states in the so-called future if you accidentally trigger that state again by an experience or another thought pattern that you haven't yet become aware of and cleared. Does this make sense? Mm-hmm. Good. Well, we have been rambling on for a while now. Fill yourselves with light once more, dear ones. And allow whatever it is that you wish to release to go down that grounding cord. Allow your consciousness, free of judgment, simply as an awareness, to bring to the surface anything that got shook loose while you were listening about limiting beliefs. Anything that bothers you or upsets you or you feel is in your way. Give it a picture, give it a title, whatever works for you, and flush it down the toilet, down that cord. Release it now. Keep your eyes closed, feet on the floor, as we would do this release work. Anything that's bubbling to the surface is doing so to be released. So just observe and let it go. There are teams helping each of you with this process now. It will give you a few moments. There are teams of angels here whose medium is sensing, standing behind each of you. And when you are complete, fill yourselves with gold once more. And add the silver for compassion. So see yourselves become this swirl of gold and silver energies. Now add the pink for love. Allow yourselves to fill in completely all the way down to your toes. And then expand these vibrations out beyond your physical as before, to as far as you choose to go. Limitless beings of light that you are. See how your physical form feels when you intend to expand beyond the room, beyond the planet. As far as you can imagine. Because you are energetic beings. And since everything is energy, you are connected to everything. Everything that happens on this world, everything that happens to each individual ripples throughout the galaxy and has a vibrational effect. Let that sink in. That is how powerful you are. The cumulative vibration, we shall say the human consciousness, the collective, as the vibration raises, it raises the vibration of not just all of humanity, but your beautiful Gaia. And this frequency goes out throughout the universe and the galaxy and affects other physical matter. Because everything is energy, even matter. Because you, even though you think you are physical, you are energy. Down to the quantum level, just like that straw being folded in upon itself until it gets so small you can't see it with the naked eye, and you need to see it like the scientists do with the quantum, however they see it with their technology, their telescopes, their whatever it is. But they know that at the smallest level, everything is energy and everything is connected. And if you are connected to everything, your thoughts affect everything. Your thoughts affect the world around you, the people around you, the plants, the animals, and more importantly, yourself. And we're just asking you to pay attention to how you feel based on your thoughts and your emotions. Because once you can, we shall say, become more aware and facilitate the higher vibrational states of alignment. We purposely did not want to use the word control because that is fear-based. We're saying that now so you understand. We're saying facilitate the higher vibrations of love and light. Once you understand and become more aware and more proficient in facilitating these vibrations within yourself, everything around you will feel different. You will feel different to others because they will notice something has shifted in you. Even if they're not quite aware of energy and vibration. There's no need to explain anything. Just be yourselves. Walk the path. Do the work and enjoy the rewards. Because the reward for being in alignment with love, light, creator, source, who you are, and are never separate from, are peace, joy, harmony, prosperity, abundance, health, love, all of the above, and so much more. The more connected you get, the more connected you feel, and the more oneness that you expand into. But one step at a time. Okay?
Okay.
And so we are complete. We will let these energies settle. And thank you for allowing us to speak and teach with